Yes, hello my friends, welcome back to Bazen Graphics. What you are seeing right now is the clock, simple clock that we are going to be doing. So this one is just a continuation from day 6. So if you haven't watched, please go back and watch because you understand better what I'm doing right now, because this is just an example. So let's begin. So right now we are in Blender. This is the viewport. Right now we need to create our clock frame. Let's first delete this cube. X on the keyboard, and we delete it. Now we want to create our frame, our clock frame. We are going to use a cylinder. So let's create a cylinder. And the cylinder, as you can see, it has a lot of vertices. Because now these vertices, at least as you can see, they do not make our shape more round. We need a smooth round. So it means we are going to increase the number of vertices. So how do we do it? We come at the bottom here and we're going to increase the number of vertices to remove these lines. We want a smooth circle. As you can see now, our cube now is a smooth circle the way we needed it. So as a frame, as a clock frame, remember its height is short. So we are going to reduce the height and scale it along the Z axis or Z axis. So we are going to click on S, Z axis 0.02. So that's what I'm using. So this one is a nice shape for a frame of our clock. So we are going to also increase the size. We're going to scale it along the X and the Y axis and eliminate the Z axis. So we are going to click on scale and shift Z, and we are going to increase the size of our clock. Yeah. So that is perfect. Now we have created a frame. Now from here we are going to create the hands of time as the clock has. So with like sticks, so we are going to use a cube. Let's create a cube, and this is our cube. We are also going to reduce its height along the Z or the Z or the Z or the Z. Okay, all right. We're going to scale it along the Z or the Z. 0.02. So that's perfect. Yep, that's perfect. So at least this one we are going to put it a bit above our frame because we want to look at these hands. So we are going to view it from the left side, and we are going to increase it, or we are going to move it along the Z axis. We're going to move G, then Z, and we are going to push it a little bit up here. So that's enough. Now we can see our hand. So our hand, we are going to reduce the size. We're going to reduce the size along the X axis. So we are going to use S, X, and we are going to reduce the size because our hand has to be a little bit smaller. Yep, I think that's enough. Yep, that's enough. We are also going to reduce it along the Y axis, S, Y, and we are going to reduce it along the Y axis around there. So now remember that our hands always turn from the center here, and it means that our anchor point or pivot point has to be at the extreme end. So when I put it, I will show you what I mean. So remember, if we were to move the anchor point, we have to go to the edit mode by clicking tab or coming to the top left here and select edit mode or clicking on tab. So now we are in the edit mode. So we are going to move it along the Y axis. We are going to move it along the Y axis, G, Y, and when we move it, it's moving independent of the anchor point of the pivot point. So we are going to move it at the extreme end of our hand. So I need it there. As you can see, our anchor point is around there. So we shall go back to our object mode, click tab, and we are back to our object mode. As you can see, they have created for us a nice hand with its pivot around, or anchor point around there. So now we need another hand. So we are just going to copy and paste. We're going to copy and paste, Command C, V, and we have created another hand. So this one is going to be moving fast. So remember, it has to be longer. So we are going to move it. We're going to scale it along the Y axis, S, Y, and we scale it along the Y axis. That's nice. Then also we're going to also scale it along the X axis because we want it to be smaller, because for it has to be smaller. Yeah, it has to be smaller so that we can differentiate it. So we have created our two hands. Let's start with the bottom one, which moves slowly. So we are going to position it here. We're going to position it at 90 degrees at 12 o'clock. So we're going to rotate it along the Z axis. So what we're going to do, we are going to click letter R on our keyboard, and click Z, then 90. As you can see, our hand has come at 90 degrees. But remember, our hand is a little bit mixed up with this slow one. This one is mixed up with this one. So let's push this one a little bit up. Let's view it from the right or left, but I like the left. So let's view it from the left, and we're going to push it along the Z axis. We're going to use G, Z, and we're going to push it along a little bit there so that it can be above the other one, which was below. So now we have created our clock. Now the remaining part is we are going to have to animate it. Yeah, we are going to animate it. We are going to animate our clock. So let's first animate this one here. We're going to animate this one. So we are going to rotate it along the Z axis. What do I mean? For example, if I click on R Z axis and I rotate, this is how we want it to rotate. Yeah, you understand? Yep. So that's what we're going to do. So remember to animate. If you don't know how to animate, please watch my day 6 video. It will show you how to do animations in Blender. And right now I'll just be doing a continuation. So we are going to pull up our timeline here so that we can be able to animate. Remember, I said we have to use the timeline, and also you have to use the graph editor if you're doing professional. If you want to learn it more, because it's better also. So this is what we call the timeline, and I'm going to divide it. So that I can have also the graph editor. So let's divide it. So this part here, I'm going to bring my graph editor. I'm going to push this one aside and push these ones this side. So right now I have my graph editor, and this one is going to be the timeline, which will help us create the keyframes. So now we are going to animate this one first. We want it to rotate around this place. So around this frame, which is 360, from here up to here again is 360. So we are going to start from frame rate 0. Yeah, frame rate 0. Here, this is the timeline I'm using. We are going to create a keyframe here. So we are going to hover on this object. We click K on our keyboard and we click rotation. And as you can see, they have created for us a keyframe. So we want to rotate 360 after 60 frames, or you can call them seconds. It depends on how you want to label your timeline. So at 60, we want it to rotate 360. Remember, going back this side is negative 360. So what we are going to do is we are going to rotate it along the Z axis, negative 360. So as you can see, they have brought it back. We have rotated it, though you haven't seen the movements. You will see it when we animate. So up here, we are going to create a keyframe, K on our keyboard, and we click on rotation. So as you can see, if we are to play our timeline, you can see that our rotation has come through the way we wanted it. So now what we are going to do, we want a continuation. We don't want it to just stop on this part. We just want it to continue like 3 times. So what we are going to do, we are going to duplicate these keyframes so that we can have the same animation on the different sections here. So what we are going to do, which is the easiest format, I also create a video about that, which is the easiest format. We are going to copy or highlight our keyframes, and firstly, this one we created it at 60. So we are just going to move a little bit behind to 59. I'll explain later. To 59, and at 59 we're going to create a keyframe. Come here, hover, click, and click rotation. So they have created for us a keyframe at 59. So what we do next is we are going to remove the one at 60. You will understand why. You're going to remove the one at 60, highlight it, click X on the keyboard, and let's delete it. So now what we are going to do, we are going to highlight, because this one starts from 0 and goes to 59. So we are going to highlight all the keyframes right here, and we are going to click Shift D, and we put the number of frames, the number of frames, the number of frames where we want the duplication to occur. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So Shift D, then we want it at 60. So as you can see, they have brought our frames, the copied frames, at 60. You understand? And it's the same one. They shift the one from here and put it at 60 here, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is, if we play our timeline, you will see that the rotation continues, but there is a pause somewhere around here. There is a pause. If I'm to play, there is a pause around there. Why? From the previous lesson, I showed you that this is what we call Bezier. The interpolation is called Bezier. So we have to change it to what we call, let me first highlight, letter A to highlight all the keyframes, right click, come to interpolation, we have to come to what we call linear. So linear, for it, it's constant. It does not stop or pause. It creates an automatic movement that doesn't have any smoothness or stopping. So we're going to select linear, and if we play our animation, you can see that it continues rotating up to this one here. So now what we're going to do is want to repeat it up to, let's say, like this part here, 240 frames. So what we're going to do is, remember here it stopped here, so we are going to duplicate all these. So we are going to highlight all the keyframes, and we are going to click Shift D, and we tell them the number of frames for which it should start from. So we are going to put 120, so it should duplicate these ones and bring them and start them from 120 and continue, counts 120 frames, and I think it will come to like 240. So we are going to click Shift D, 120. Yep. So if we are to look through, you see that it comes to 240. Hope you have understood these things. So if I am to play, it will play like that. It will continue until our animation is at 240. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yep. So here you can see here, they are showing us some weird lines. So we are going to normalize by clicking normalize our graph editor. As you can see, they have changed this to linear. If you had seen before, it was in curves. Now they have changed it to linear because we have changed it to linear interpolation, the mode. So now we have created our animation. You understand? We have created animation. So we also have to create one for our small one here, which moves a little bit, I think, a little bit faster. Yeah, it moves a little bit faster. So you will understand everything. So now we also have to put it, at this part here. So we are going to click R, Z rotation at 90. So this is where we want it. So we are going to create a keyframe here also, rotation, and we are going to move a bit, let's put it like at 120, so that you can even put it more like at this part here. You can even put it at 250. Yeah, and we can say that let it move also 360 from 0 to 120 or 240, because we want it to move slowly. Because remember, the first one, the short one, we made it up to 60, but this one we are taking it up to 240. So right here we are going to click on rotation along the Z axis, and we're going to make it negative 360. Yeah, isn't it negative 360? Yep, and we're going to create, this is where we want it, we're going to create a keyframe rotation. So now if we are to play, you can see that it's moving This one is overtaking it because we are the ones who made it move that way. So the shorter one moves faster than the longer one, because for it takes 60 frames, the other one takes 240 frames. Yeah, where this one takes 60, the other one takes 40. Hope you have understood what I'm saying. Yep, so you can see now you can be able to create a clock, can ever be able to create a clock or any other animation that you want to create. As time goes on, we shall learn things like parenting, things like modeling. Like I said, for me, I'm on a journey to learn. I'm on a journey to learn, and I'm doing it. And by the time I take my time, by the time a lot of weeks pass by, I'll be good, and months. So please follow me. Right now, I'm learning. If you look at my day one, it's different from this one. You understand? So please keep practicing. You can make it. We remain Bazen Graphics.